Something I want to talk about in the entrepreneurial space is accountability to myself, customers, clients, everyone you work with, employees, it matters. For example, today I hopped on a call with one of my clients who paid me to build them a website, and I gave them 3 revisions on the contract. You can give some free will, but make sure everything makes sense. I built the website for them, and then they came back with an entire new plan of what they wanted. They showed me another Rockstar video game, Grand Theft Auto. They're like, let's recreate this website. And I was like, they spent $2.2 billion in 13 years building the video game and priced at least $100,000 on developers building the website. And I told them, trying to be as communicative as possible. I'm down to revise the website for what you need to build, but it comes to a limit of what I can do with my time, or and versus having to, if I needed to hire out someone to do the work, I have to let the clients know, because we have contracts in place. That's why we have contracts, is so you're not doing extra work that's not specified. I believe you promise something, you give more good free will. You have to have hard standards for yourself and your clients. I hopped on a call with the point of contact afterward and talked to him about it, and he totally understood. And he's like, you know what? No, he's like, you're 100% right, and don't feel overwhelmed. He's like, I can tell you were getting overwhelmed on the call. Overall, good day. I have another meeting today later with another engineer, and I just hired my first intern from UCF here in Orlando. He knows Python, and I'm teaching him, getting him trained on the current project I'm working on. So I'm really excited to be offloading some of that work to him. And still, there's the book I'm reading right now is called, I'm reading several books. One of the books I'm listening to, it's free on Spotify Premium, is The E-Myth. I first heard it from Patrick Bet-David and a bunch of other entrepreneurs, Dan Martell. They all talk about The E-Myth, which talks about a few things. It talks about there's 3 roles that every business owner has. It's the entrepreneur, manager, and technician. So those are the 3 roles that are any entrepreneur, any businessman starts with, or woman, or business owner. And the entrepreneur has this big dream, goals, vision, can see into the future, know exactly what's going on. I mean, not, what I'm saying. But then the manager tries to keep everything on track together. This has probably been you. And then the third one is the technician, is the one that gets dirty in terms of the work, the delivery, whether it's code, they're coding. If it's a video editor, they're video editing. If it's a cook, they're cooking, not managing the kitchen. Those are the 3 roles, and you can play the hats of all of them. But in order to grow and scale, you need to be able to delegate different roles from the beginning. The book talks about an example, some girl named Sarah with a pie shop, and then she scales up, didn't work, so scales back down. So now she's back doing everything herself. And you don't want that. If you're looking to grow, from the beginning, you have to know when to hire certain people and treat it as if you were a big company. One of my favorite stories, I've heard this from several books, The E-Myth, Patrick Bet-David's The Next 5 Moves, talks about IBM and how they knew what type of company they wanted to be from the beginning. In order to do that, you have to first behave like the type of company you want to become before you become that type of company. One of my other books that I read was Trailblazer, and who's the guy, I forget his name, but the guy who created Salesforce, Benny something. He wanted to give back a percentage to charity, 10%. Even if he made $100, he'd give $10 to charity or put it up to charity. That's amazing. That's just for his company. It doesn't mean every company needs to do that, but he knew what type of company he wanted to be before he became that huge company. And that's kind of how I've been trying to grow my business. For me, the type of company I want is to make technology and automations accessible to every business owner, regardless of size. In order to do that, you have to start. I built automations for smaller companies, and I'm building out for some larger companies, and keeping those expectations of what I can do myself versus what I need to find other people to do. And it's a balance. But I kind of use the Hormozy style, 4 hours of marketing or telling people who I am in the morning. I like to do delivery of services at night after 6. During the day, I have meetings and other things. I structure my day, get the gym in there, get some time to eat. I be forgetting how to eat sometimes, but it's the whole goal of the entrepreneurship. So my name is Zach. I run a software development company called Code Meets Bagel. We build automations for companies. We build websites. We build mobile apps, web applications, and we'd love to work with you. If you have any questions, if you want to learn how to do any of this stuff, feel free to ask me on Instagram at Zach with 2 H's .Ross, or email me at zach@codemeetsbagel.com. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to have a conversation and teach. Have a good day.